Home Podcast time.
That's right. Binford Tools is proud to present a home improvement podcast. My name is Adam. You'll know my co-host Jordan. Morning, Jordan.
It feels like the last time
that we're talking about season 6, or
yeah,
that's pretty crazy. Yeah, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Keep going.
No, that's okay. That's all I had. I don't even really know the rest of the words of that song.
It's just the same thing over and over again, I think. Like, feels like the last time, feels like the very last time. No, Jordan.
Although it's the first time, of
course. It's a pleasure to be here with you this morning. This is the culmination of season 6, and I want to address the haters this morning.
Let's do it, because we've been itching to do this for probably 7 episodes.
Yeah, I want to address the haters. So, back in May of 2016, I was fresh out of grad school. You were just a guy living in Florida.
To be fair, I'm still just a guy living in Florida.
That's true. No child though, so you weren't a father. True. And what is a man if he's not a father?
Yeah. It makes me wonder a lot of things about you right now.
Well, hey man, that makes 2 of us. This podcast is my child. This podcast is like a child to me.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, man, and a lot of people were like, "You guys are starting a home improvement podcast."
Did we tell a lot of people that?
Good luck with that, they said. Yeah, we went door to door. We were trying to sell this thing, and everybody was like, "Hey, home improvement podcast, that's never going to gain any traction."
And they were only partially right, so
home
take that.
Improvement podcast, you're not going to be able to pay your child's education with that, your hypothetical child at that point. Home Improvement Podcast, why don't you save yourself some heartbreak and just not do it? But you know what we did? Bootstrap mentality. Mamba mentality, in fact. We said, actually we are going to start a Home Improvement Podcast. Do we care that there is a couple other ones that have started and stopped a couple times at this point? No.
In fact, that motivated us more.
It motivated us more, actually. Thank you for saying that, Jordan. That motivated us more. We said, yeah, I think we're going to do it, and it's going to take us about 4 or 5 fucking years, and we're gonna have mostly a pretty good time doing it, and we're gonna have the best name of any home improvement podcast. We're gonna work really hard to get Tim Allen on. Probably never be able to successfully do it, but have some pretty good interviews on. Sell a couple of sweatshirts, which is shocking. And
so shocking. There's nothing more shocking in a run than that, honestly.
And Adam is going to talk about this in a lot of job interviews for a couple of years. It's going to come up a lot in job interviews, and he's going to have to.
It's going to be a pivotal point in getting him jobs.
People are going to be kind of impressed that he's had a podcast for 5 years, and a lot of people said I wasn't going to be able to do any of those things. And I just want to say, at the end of season 6, guess I really showed all you guys and
Take
girls.
That, haters.
Yeah. So egg on all y'all faces, because we did it. Everybody said you're never going to get to episode 151.
It was weird that they picked that number specifically.
Well, that is when podcasts usually peter out. It's like
okay.
You can get to 150 pretty easily, but getting to 151 is a genuine challenge. And yet, Here we are. I think that I've said this before, but I continue to say it. It is the haters that fuel me, and I think you feel the same way.
I do, although I don't talk about it as much as you. So I guess maybe you're a bit more fueled than I am. But I agree with most of your sentiments. We've changed a lot in the 4.5 years or however long we've been doing, or will do this. But that we'll save that for later when we actually get to the end of season 8. That's in a year or so. But man, oh man, it's been a wild ride. And just season 6 alone has been a wild ride. Season
6 feels like it's been 4 years in and of itself. Looking back at the early episodes of season 6, kind of, felt like it was just a different time. I didn't remember a lot of them.
No, yeah, we always go to the season in summation, and it's been, half a year or maybe a little bit more, and it's like, oh, I don't really remember what's going on. So,
on the whole, season 6, interesting. and we will, what we're doing now is
we're just teasing.
We're teasing. Season and summation is going to come at the end of our discussion of the kiss and the kiss off. But yeah, it's going to be a wild ride because we got some exciting stuff. We're talking top 3 episodes, bottom 3 episodes, top 3 guest stars, MVP, and whatever else the heck we feel like doing. So
because this is our show, and nobody can take it from us.
I'm glad you said that, Jordan. Nobody can take this show away from us. And, just like a lot of people said that you couldn't get to episode 151, a lot of people said, we'll try to take the show away from you. And we have not let them so far.
We have not let them. Also, it's not really a valuable commodity for them to take.
Well, IP is IP, Jordan, and I've told you that.
That's true. And look at all the good stuff we're doing with it.
Yeah, I was at a I don't remember if I talked about this last week. Stop me if I did, but I was at...
I might want to hear it again. Sometimes I don't listen to your opening banters. You talk a lot.
Yeah, I know. I definitely do that when you're talking about specific scenes and I start just going on IMDb and trying to find something funny to say for when you're done. Yeah, I went to a filmmaking creative sustainability summit. Did I talk about this?
Wow, that's a lot of words all together. I'm not sure what it means.
I'm going to tell you. Basically, independent filmmaking on a budget. So how do you make things for cheap, get your stuff out there? The thesis statement is you don't need Hollywood to accept you. You can make your own stuff and get in a different way. And it was it was run by a crowdfunding company and so on. And Mark Duplass, you know who he is? You'd know him if you looked him up. He's in the league, but he does a bunch of independent movies and stuff.
I think I saw the picture on Twitter or something, or maybe it was in our fantasy football group chat that you sent a picture. Yeah, I recognized him. So
yeah, he was there, and then the guy that wrote 12 Years a Slave, John Ridley, who won the Oscar, was also there, and it was inspiring, and it made me proud of us for building this podcast from the ground up. I mean, certainly we're not going to win an Oscar for it or achieve any mainstream success, but hey, we had a dream, we followed through, and here we are.
That's right. Sometimes you just got to work hard and let the work stand for itself, and that's what we've done here.
And you also have to have a Mamba mentality.
What was the other mentality that we have?
Bootstrap.
Mamba and bootstrap, they go hand in hand.
Mamba mentality has become...
Maybe that's a fusion that we've really...
I don't really want a Mamba mentality because I think the Kobe Bryant... I don't know. We're looking at Kobe Bryant in a different way now that he's retired. I'm not sure all of it is accurate, but he's branded himself as kind of a guru.
The man knows how to spin a narrative.
He definitely does, yeah. And he also is an Oscar winner, so a lot of Oscar winners today. And it's funny, the episode we're talking about today, the Kiss On and the Kiss Off, it won the Oscar. So we should talk about that.
Yeah, except for let's get the title right. Episode 151.
The Kiss Off. The Kiss Off. It's not Wax On, Wax Off.
Although that would have been better.
Yeah, isn't that? I mean, the Kiss and the Kiss Off.
I don't have a clue.
Do you? Okay, I mean, Randy, obviously. There's a little smooch at the end of this one. But what's the Kiss Off? I
suppose it's Heidi?
Kiss Off. Is Kiss Off a saying screw off?
Yeah, I suppose. We're going to have to ask the two writers, which is Jennifer Coletta and Adam England, two of our faves.
I want to get, I don't know if it's Salata, Coletta. I would like to talk to her.
Jennifer C.
That would be cool to interview her.
It would be.
Because
Reach out.
Yeah, I'm trying. But I'll keep trying.
Jordan, I'm trying. They lasted, separately, but Wilson's World, Jennifer did. Which is the one, if you recall, Wilson does a one-man show, which you loved. And then Adam England.
Adam England likes the British car one. He did the British car one.
He does, but he also did The Wood, the Bad, and the Hungry, which is the stop-motion one.
Might be talking about that later.
might be talking about
Nigel, later. My British mechanic.
This one aired May 20th, 1997.
Okay.
We've got some trivia notes, but that'll happen during the scenes. Alternative titles. I would say the title was so bad that it somehow infected me. And so my alternative titles are bad.
I have 5.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't say they were good, but I have 5.
I really struggled to have 2.
Wow.
But I got 3.
Right.
I threw in a third one, and you're going to hate all of them. So.
Okay. Go ahead.
Well, you got 5. You might as well.
Okay, I'll start. Jesus.
Start already. My goodness.
Hey, we're not going to make it to 152 if you keep that up, mister.
This is what people were warning us about.
I know, but we are, it doesn't matter if we quit now because we did what they said we wouldn't do. And that's episode
true.
151.
That's true.
All right, first one. Leveling up with Lauren.
Okay.
It's real down the middle.
It is. Mm-hmm. So is this one. Puppy love.
All right, you pervert. I don't know. Just wanted to say it.
It works every time.
I always hit this thing where I can't read what I've written, and you'd think at a certain point I would write.
This is why I use a computer.
Yeah, I'm old fashioned. I'm an old soul.
Old school.
I like black and white films. I drink my coffee black. I don't have a smartphone. No. Here's my next one. Oh, how am I going to present this? I'm skipping that one. Okay, this one's good. 2 Tool girls, 1 cup.
Oh, nice.
Should have been 1 show, actually, the more I think about it, but...
well, just for people who don't know, they can go Google that.
Yeah, do that. Yeah, go Google 2 girls, 1 cup. You'll be really psyched.
There's a reason why we are no longer Clean Lyrics kid-friendly.
Do it from your work computer, though, so that you can get fired fast.
NSFW.
What?
All right. I've got Tool Girl 1 Tool. Wow, 2.
What did you say?
2 girl...
2 Tool girls, 1 cup.
I'm rattled. All right. Tool Girl Duel.
Yeah, that's all right. Okay.
Did you catch the part where they take like a glove and slap each other?
No.
Just like a duel. The old-fashioned duel.
I saw the part when they each pulled out like long swords and went to different corners of the room.
It's amazing that you missed the start of that scene.
It's too bad. Next one. This is TOO. Too many Tool girls. Yep.
Good thing you wrote all 5 down. My last one is 4 is a crowd.
4 is a crowd. Okay, sorry, I was reading my next one. What is? This is dumb. You're funny. You're more accurate than you know when you say, "Good thing I wrote down 5," because this one doesn't even need to be written down. Heidi's hard time.
I almost wrote down Heidi no instead of Heidi ho.
Are you done?
I am done.
Okay, my last one. Hop along, Playboy Bunny.
What?
Pam Anderson's Playboy Bunny. Hop away. I don't know.
All right. Well,
I think that one's better than you do.
I think 4 is a crowd's the best one, unfortunately.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it definitely wasn't 2 Tool girls, 1 cup.
You're right. That one's the best one.
Wow.
Definitely that one. All right. The episode's better than our titles, I hope.
Hopefully.
We're going to open at home. Randy and Lauren are on the Gazoinkbo, finishing up some...
Oh man, that's good. Gazoinkbo, love it.
Finishing up some studying.
Yep.
And Lauren's being a little coy here. It's her birthday this weekend, and Randy really wants to get together with her. So I guess the last time we left off with this relationship, they were kind of into each other, but not really willing to make the next step.
Well, it's always been like, Randy's really interested, but Lauren's like, I want to just be friends. It's like, okay, let me know when you're ready.
She's ready, all right.
Take your time.
Well, Randy says, let's get together with some friends and celebrate. She said, I'd actually like to have a one-on-one dinner date. And Randy's like, with anyone in particular? You know where this is going. It's a date. Those two.
What if she was like, yeah, your brother
Brad.
Mark?
Well, I think then Randy would just
Randy's like hanging from a rope from the gazebo next scene.
Jeez. I think, the problem is Randy couldn't go beat up Mark because we already saw that Mark had to save Randy's butt. You know?
Yeah, Mark knows Kung Fu.
Yeah, so Randy's a little nervous, and he's going to be nervous for a while, but he's got a date with his gal, and he runs inside to tell his mother. They talk about levels, as you talked about. Not Seinfeld levels, but leveling up. And
levels.
It'd be funny if Randy started talking about levels.
Hey, Larry Hankin is the levels guy. And,
it's true. So it all kind of ties together
circle.
this season. Yep. they're, Jill says, now that you're entering this relationship, you need to be constantly in tune with Lauren's innermost feelings, something I'm still not doing very well with my wife, so I don't think that's necessarily true for these teenagers, but
yeah.
Randy does a pretty poor Tim impersonation here.
Oh, yeah.
Where he's like, oh, no.
Yeah.
That's how the scene ends.
One thing I would say is Randy's voice is really cracking early in the scene. That's kind of a joke.
I thought he did that on purpose.
I don't think so. I think it's supposed to be. I think he's like. I think as an actor he's doing it on purpose, but like I think in the scene it's supposed to be authentic.
That's what I think we're saying the same thing.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I thought that this was a good opening scene. I don't know, kind of different. Yeah, I liked what it did.
Centered around the young folk.
And it did centered around the young folk.
That's what us old folk called the young folk.
Well said, Grandpa.
Gazebo, more like gazoinkspo.
Oh, man. Yeah, the Jehoobies. And then, yeah, we'll head to the next scene. Tool time. Letter from Katie Allen. I don't know if you saw the trivia, but that is Tim's daughter's name, IRL.
It's true, and we're not sure if she actually drew this picture or not.
Inconclusive per IMDb, but a cute little wink,
adorable.
I guess you would say.
It's as cute as the mailbag with M-A-L-E on it.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe cuter.
This cuter, yeah. A little bit of Tool Time artwork. There's some jokes about that. But that ends quickly because there's a guest.
What? Who's there?
Well, is it after the show or is it during the show? It's after, right?
Yeah, they end the show with giving gifts for the audience.
Oh, yeah. Tool Time ends pretty abruptly here. Like, yeah, the show ends and they give, like, Purell and, I don't know, exit gifts, which kind of cool. I don't know. I didn't know they did that, so.
From what I wrote down, it's cowboy hats for the gals and travel pillows for the guys.
Where did I get Purell?
I had to listen back to hear pillow a couple times, so I think it's just hard to hear.
Purell pillow, maybe. Show ends, and we've got someone we haven't seen in quite a while.
Wow.
I guess I knew this was coming, but it was a delight because Lisa, a.k.a. Pam Anderson, she's back, baby.
The first Tool Girl.
The OG Tool Girl. She runs out after the show. Kind of awkward, I thought. I don't know. I don't know why I felt like it was awkward, but it just sort of...
Well, you just don't like when anyone sneaks up on anybody else.
So. Yeah, it offended my senses. I don't know, just like she's just like running out after the show, just a little strange. She finished school, and
I completely forgot why she left the show, to be honest. Like, I know why she left the show in real life, but for the TV show purposes.
Yeah, I don't. I guess I hadn't thought about it much either, but they're so excited to see her. I mean,
man.
They're especially. I'm not leveling any accusations against the card man, but he's pretty handsy in this episode. He's really like
there were a couple times I thought she was smacking him off. I wasn't sure.
He's putting his hand on her shoulder a lot. Hey, maybe it was in the script. I don't know, but he's very excited to see her. They're all very buddy. And there's just a lot of genuine excitement. Heidi, not so much.
Immediately.
Oh my gosh, it's kind of absurd. Really.
This kind of. You remember in the last episode where they like double and triple down on the Jill sickness thing?
Yeah.
They do the same thing with Heidi in this, and it's pretty egregious.
What do you mean the Jill sickness? I'm sorry, I don't know.
Remember they were just like having all these scenes where it was just like, Jill, you're sick. Let's take care of you over and over again, and it was you really only needed one of those. And
Heidi is just like immediately kind of bothered by it, like to the point where it doesn't really make sense. Like she's just like, oh, she's back, so I'm mad. Before even anything has really happened, just her presence kind of offends Heidi. And they're all going to go to Big Mike's after the show, get a couple of stinkies, reminisce, and Heidi's invited, but she can't go. And they all kind of walk off the set, and Heidi's stuck there alone, staring sadly at the camera, and it's the most TV shit you'll ever see. It's like that episode early on where Mark's head pops up from the window or whatever, and it's like... Yeah, it's pretty stupid.
It was pretty bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely overplayed here. But these are the two, we got the two scenes and we know exactly what's going to happen in this episode.
That's a sitcom for you. I was doing some research about like Pam Anderson's career from when she left to this appearance, and this would have I couldn't find anything online, but like this would have been a pretty big get at the time. Like 1997, she's done with Baywatch, which has like kind of
skyrocketed her career.
Yeah, I mean, like she was always famous for like obvious like Playboy stuff or whatever, but like kind of on another level. She'd made some movies. Barbed Wire was not good, but pretty popular. She hosts SNL in 1997, which is obviously, you're of a pretty significant stature if you're doing that. And like, she wouldn't go on to do anything real meaningful. She did some show that I saw where she was like a bodyguard for like 4 years and did like 88 episodes. It was called VIP. Never heard of it. Don't know what channel it was on. Seemingly doesn't exist, but yeah, like this would have been like she's been in Playboy covers and stuff a bunch, so she's a pretty big star at this point. Like she's famous when she leaves, but this would have been, I'm sure they were really hitting the promos hard at this point to let people know she was going to be on the show, because I'm not going to say she was at her height, like, but pretty close to it. I mean, the sex tape would have come out a couple years before, and that was obviously like a big deal. But yeah, this is a big get for the show, definitely.
Well, and it being a season finale, they want to end on a high note or whatever. So putting her in that role just kind of gives you an idea of where she was popularity wise. So
for sure, yeah,
yeah. So Lisa's back in town. I guess that would have been a better alternative title.
Should have done that one. Yeah.
But instead, we move on to the next scene. Randy comes home from school. And it's been a rough day. It's been pretty awful. He doesn't know how to act with Lauren anymore, since they're pretty much boyfriend and girlfriend. And he's overthinking everything, and they're talking about what I think he's talking to Jill here. What are we going to do for the first date? And Jill talks about, I feel like we've probably talked about Tim and Jill's first date like 40 times.
My gosh.
It just seems like it probably happened.
It's always changing.
It seems like it, but I think Sears was probably a constant of something they talked about. Okay. And in this situation, they had Italian, and by Italian I mean meatball subs in the Sears parking lot. So, very romantic.
Sounds romantic. Yeah, sounds pretty good. Yeah.
I don't know. It can't be all bad. Tim comes in. He's got a big show on Friday because Lisa is back in town. Brad, very excited to hear this news. He's just kind of continuing the character that he's had all season. We had him at the expo, and he was just all about the babes, right?
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
And he's continuing. He's just, full throttle in puberty right now. So
he's appreciating all the Tool girls. He's psyched. Good times for Brad.
2 Tool girls. He's very excited. Tim is much more excited about the hot rod being on the show, and that makes Jill happy. So there you go.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. That's the end of the episode.
That's it. Do we know at this point that does he announce that Lisa is going to be on the show? Doesn't he say that in the last scene?
He tells Jill.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah.
That's why Brad's so excited.
Right. Okay. Of course. Yeah. Tool time. It's all kind of strange. Heidi. Wait. So Heidi brings out Lisa.
You're gonna skip the salute to cars and then the muffler fart thing that they like really linger on.
I didn't linger on it long enough for me to notice, so it couldn't have been that bad.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. Heidi brings out Lisa and like has to like get her a coat and stuff, and like Heidi's pretty sensitive about all this, but this scene she really is kind of serving Lisa effectively. Again, I wrote here Karn getting a little handsy, a lot of shoulder touching. Maybe it was in the script, maybe it wasn't. Love the Karn man.
It's the same way I treat you when you come around.
Hey, Karn man, it's Pam Anderson. He's shooting a shot, I guess. Heidi is assisting Lisa throughout. They're working on a car. I didn't really know Lisa was proficient in all of these things. Like, I obviously, like, the Tool girls, they know about tools and stuff, but I didn't know she was so able to do all this stuff with the cars. Did you?
I guess I didn't think about it too much, but I suppose that makes sense. But, when you're around two very capable men like Tim and Al, you're just going to pick up some stuff every once in a while. So
yeah,
I suppose that's where she learns it here. But yeah, they do this thing in the scene where Heidi just really wants to get involved, and she's like, oh, I'll help with that. And no, Lisa's going to be helping with everything.
Was none of this discussed pre-show?
I suppose not. They do not have pre-show meetings. Tim just kind of goes out there and they fly all loosey-goosey.
He's like Letterman at the end of his run, where he's just kind of showing up and winging it every night. Yeah, it is funny. Yeah, she's like, can I do this? Can I do that? It's like, no, Lisa's going to do it. Meanwhile, like, we've never really seen Heidi do any of the things that she wants to do, per se. But
well, you don't know what you're missing until somebody else comes and takes your place,
She's PO'd, though, man. She is not feeling good about it. What do you think about Al's rapping in the hood joke?
I didn't think a lot about it. So now I'm thinking about it, and it's fine.
Okay, I liked it. That was funny.
All right. He liked it, obviously.
Really surprised me. That's good. we're working. I don't exactly remember what we're doing.
We're welding.
It's hot rod work.
Yeah, a new hood. They're welding the hood.
Tim hurts himself, and Heidi's ready to jump in with the medical kit. But Lisa, she has a fanny pack on, and it's full of first aid stuff. And she jumps in, saves the day. And Heidi, Jordan, she's sad again.
She is sad. Lisa goes to work like it's Baywatch, and someone's drowning in the water. It's
C.J. Parker at your service.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah. No one's ever gonna call Pam Anderson a great actor. She's not that good.
Yeah. What do you like Heidi's sadness or Lisa's action better?
Man, if you're asking me to choose who's stronger at performing, I don't know. It's hard. I'm gonna say it's a tie in this scene. They both really bring the heat. I'll just say that.
They bring the blowtorch. All right. Next scene, we're back at home, and Randy is showing off the birthday gift that he got her. Very classy gift.
So dumb.
An engraved pen.
I don't honestly know what you get a 15-year-old. Like, I don't know what a good present would be.
Anything
Randy,
else,
but yeah, not an engraved pen.
Yeah, he's just continuing to kind of crash and burn here. Mark burns Randy pretty badly. He says, "You want to be her boyfriend, and that's what you got her." And then Randy burns Mark because it's Mark. So
then Randy does the Joker Dark Knight pencil trick on the table.
Stop it. Stop it.
He makes a pen disappear in Mark's eye. Crazy.
Yeah, it got a little violent.
You want to know how I got this pen?
Okay.
You see, my dad was a bit of a jerk.
All right, Tim comes in. Anyone see Tool Time? Of course, Brad did. He loved it.
Bubba babes.
Tim makes things worse by saying Lisa is welcome anytime. Jill is the only one who kind of picks up finally what Heidi is putting down and wonders if this was all okay with Heidi. And conveniently right at this time, Heidi, the phone rings. It's Heidi. She quit.
It's
things move pretty quickly for Heidi.
Heidi, not a good look for Heidi in this episode. Okay, it's a frustrating situation.
Maybe just wait it out.
I don't want to delve too much behind the curtain, but people have frustrating work days all the time. Like, I don't know, people get really frustrated at work. Just immediately quit. Like, she really goes from 1 to 10 extremely quickly in this. Just see it through. It felt to me like an insane overreaction to quit based on one show. Yeah, one show didn't go your way. Oh, gotta quit. Maybe she has a significant savings or something, but yeah, that was crazy.
We're gonna have to ask Scott.
Yet to meet Scott, but looking forward to it.
Heard
good things.
Jill says, "Tim, what did you do?" And now Brad has no reason to live.
Didn't this strike you as a major overreaction?
Yes, it's pretty wild.
Yeah, all right. That's all I want to know. Right. I mean, I'd hate to think that if I, bothered you on the podcast, you would just quit.
I tried about 10 months ago, and you wouldn't let me. So
yeah, you wanted to drop down to twice a month, and I said, no way, Jose.
Twice a month, but double the episode.
Like lengthwise? Maybe I never understood what you were proposing. Maybe it was a great idea. I don't know. All right, we're home. After the call, Tim's basically right where he was before. Convenient commercial break. Jill really puts things into perspective here.
Yeah.
She makes a Bob Vila analogy. Like,
wow.
Hey, what if Bob Vila came on the show and did all the things that you do? And he's like, hey, I'm starting to get it. But I also feel like Heidi maybe shouldn't have quit so fast. Randy comes downstairs, and Tim kind of gives him a little bit of an anti-pep talk, really bums him out, kind of talking about, I don't know, women and sensitivity and so on. Tim calls Heidi back. No answer. What's he going to do?
Randy looks good, though, for his date.
Yeah, what's he got, like a sport coat on, t-shirt underneath, that kind of thing?
Yeah, he's looking real 90s good.
Well, they're going to that Italian restaurant, so you gotta look good. It's the only Italian restaurant in town.
And we don't remember the name, but I'm assuming it's Sorrentino's. I don't know, something like that.
I think it's Italia Gardens.
Oh, if only. That place is delicious.
Local sponsor.
Yeah, and you didn't mention necessarily this too, but Jill, besides like doing the Bob Vila analogy, he asks like, did you think about Heidi? Ask how she felt. Tell her how much you value her. So Tim apparently is not thinking very much about his employees, so it's a wonder that Al still sticks on the show as well.
It's funny because I feel like Tim is a pretty good person to work for. I don't know.
I know, but
I've never been struck by the fact that he
not
that
in
he
this
took people for
episode.
granted. Yeah, well, I mean, I don't think he's that bad in this episode either, but that's a whole different argument.
Well,
right.
if he's not that bad, the way that he turns it all around at the end makes him the best boss ever.
Best boss, world's best boss mug.
Mm-hmm.
We're at the Detroit Italian restaurant. There's only one, and we find out it's kind of a clever gag. Like we find out before the camera got there that the pen exploded on Lauren. She got a big ink swell on her shirt. So things aren't going that well. Get the same waiter as before. That's Vasily Bogazianos playing Antonio Margheriti. He's no bullshit, man. Or maybe he's all bullshit. I don't know. He's sassy.
He's kind of a jerk. So the kids order waters, and he's like, "Big tip coming tonight." Like,
by the way, though, I'm thinking about this. Like, okay, if they don't get waters, they get like soft drinks, which are like in 1997. I don't know, $1.50 or something. So like $3 total shift in the overall final bill's really gonna shift things for you tip wise. Okay, bro.
Well, we just learned that he's in a bad mood for other reasons, right?
Yeah, but this guy's always. I think there's no room in this country. It sounds like propaganda. There's no room in this country for waiters that don't treat people right. There's no room for waiters that are rude. Frankly,
he's asking for a bad tip, but also
here's
he's
a tip.
probably
nicer.
He's probably in jeopardy because I imagine as two teenagers they don't really know what they're doing anyway. When it comes to tipping, I mean. It's got to be like hit or miss with younger kids.
It's
right?
It's either way more than it should be, or
like
way
nothing.
Less.
Yeah,
there's
so
never
that's a rough place to be in.
Yeah, Randy's really nervous.
I'm nervous for him.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, okay. He's buttering his hand. Things aren't going. He reaches across the table. He spills water on Lauren. And she needs to excuse herself. Things are not going well. And we get a pretty good reveal here. Mm-hmm. I didn't expect this. Sometimes Wilson shows up and I think, man, that's dumb. I kind of like this one. He kind of peeks his head up over like, I guess it's a wine rack or something.
Yeah, either that or like a plant that separates the upper stairs area from the downstairs area. And I think the way the crowd reacts here, I don't think they knew that Wilson was there.
It's pretty good. It's one of the better reveals in quite a while. And I guess, this is our Wilson scene. So, Jordan, let's play a clip.
Let's do it.
Buonasera, Randito.
Wilson?
So what brings you here this evening?
Well, I'm on a date with Lauren. What are you doing here?
Well, I'm getting together with my wine tasting club.
Oh, yeah? Where's everyone else?
Oh, they're probably at home sobering up from our last meeting. So, how is your date with Lauren going?
Oh, well, so far I've inked her, soaked her, and buttered my own hand.
Randy, everybody does that.
Really?
No, I'm just trying to make you feel better.
Gosh, Wilson, I'm just so worried that Lauren's not going to like this date. The more worried I get, the more I keep screwing up.
Randy, I'm reminded of the modern-day guru, Baba Ram Dass. His philosophy is be here now.
Well, I am here now. I think that's a problem.
No. What Baba Ram Dass means is be here in the moment. Don't worry about what will be. Savor what is. Say what's on your mind.
Well, what's on my mind is that Lauren must think I'm a dork.
I've seen the way Lauren looks at you. Her eyes definitely do not say dork.
Really?
Go to her, Randy.
Well, I would, but she's in the ladies' room.
Wait.
Thanks a lot, Wilson.
Ram Dass. He says be here now and live in the moment. I have heard of Ram Dass before. He's still around. And comedian Pete Holmes really likes him, and I used to listen to his podcast. So he's a Ram Dass guy. So for once, Wilson and I were on the same page. Randy kind of gets the advice here, and Lauren comes back, and Randy decides to live in the moment. And first thing he does is he busts this waiter's chops. He's like, "Hey, you're rude." And the waiter's like, "You know what? I am rude, and I wanted a 15-year-old kid to put things into perspective for me. Here's some complimentary appetizers. The problem is, I guess you heard the clip, so you know that Wilson's there with his wine club, and they get pretty rowdy. But the waiter has got real problems with Wilson, and Wilson kind of calls for him. He says something about the wine being not
something
what it should be. It's a disgrace to his palate or something.
Yeah, that's right.
But Randy, he's very clear here. He says, "I like you a lot," and then they start making out. They go ham.
I mean, that's the kiss, right?
That's the kiss, man. So if this is the kiss off,
the kiss off is Heidi saying, "I quit."
That's stupid.
I'm not saying it's a good title.
That's a bad title. That should be an alternative title, not a real title. Next scene, Jordan. What's gonna happen?
Pre-show with Al. Lisa comes out. She got a job, a paramedic job.
Kelly got a job.
She's gonna be leaving. Heidi's great news, but Tim asks Al about Heidi, where she is, all that kind of stuff, and apparently she's at the Mommy and Me class. This is something she does once a week. Yeah. It's funny that Tim doesn't know about it if she does it like every week, but
well, he doesn't exactly have his finger on the pulse of the time.
Not all the time. Lisa, they're talking a little bit about what happened and she quit and whatnot, and Lisa's like, "Oh, I never would have come on the show if you would have told me you didn't talk to Heidi," and all this kind of stuff. So yeah, well, everyone's making Tim feel bad. Al is taking things really hard because, you know, he didn't think about this as well, and he's being insensitive. And Lisa's like, "Okay, get over yourself." So it's a short scene here. Not too much going on.
And she leaves just as mysteriously as she arrived.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Lisa. I don't know if we ever get her again.
No, this is it. So, soak it up, Jordan.
Are you going to sing another song like you did last?
Because you had a bad day. First the Colonel dies, then we get Lisa, and then she's taken away. I mean, Lord, this is tumultuous times on Home and Podcast.
Rough end to season 6.
And then, you know what? I'm beginning to wonder, are we ever going to get this waiter back? I'm going to find out right now. So, hold everything.
With all of the stuff that's disappearing, it's nice to have new life. And so we go to the Mommy and Me class. Mm-hmm. And they're singing Wheels on the Bus. There's a bunch of kids playing around. At first I was thinking, wow, it's kind of crazy they got all these kids. But then I thought about the alternative to, like, do a bunch of dolls or something, and that would have looked terrible. So
there's some dolls, though, you can tell.
Well, at different points, I'm assuming. Yeah. But when the kids are like playing and stuff. So Tim comes in and he wants to talk to Heidi.
Jordan, I hate to interrupt, but I've got great news. We have another 3 episodes with Antonio the waiter.
That's unbelievable.
He's in 6 episodes.
How could they possibly fit him into 3 more episodes?
3 more trips to the Italian restaurant.
Jeez. No, there's one where he comes to the Taylor house.
How would that work?
I don't know.
Try to figure it out right now. Concoct a scheme. All right, so
Brad's
open house.
No, he's mad because Tim came and some emergency happened or whatever, and he had to leave, and so there was no tip. So Antonio was pretty upset. So he found the Taylor's address. He comes to the house to confront them, and who answers the door but
who?
This is where you pick up, man.
No, I have my own riff. So you just finish yours, and I'll tell you my plan.
Who comes to the door but
Mark?
Sure, Mark, but he's in his goth phase at this point.
Okay, yeah.
And Mark scares the crap out of Antonio, and we never see him again.
Okay, I have like 3 ideas.
All right, let's go with them all.
First one, Antonio. Brad's open house grad party. The Italian restaurant caters. Antonio the waiter is at the open house helping to serve. Hilarity ensues. 2, charity fundraiser. Binford Tools. At the Italian restaurant. Antonio is doing all kinds of crazy things. 3, I felt like I had 3. Third one, okay. Well, it's gotta be like he's on Tool Time, and it is.
It's like Salute to Food or something.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. It's like that episode where the K&B boys make grilled cheese on the mufflers or whatever. And Antonio figures out a way to like ferment wine from the inside of an engine. And so he's on tour time. 3 great ideas. All right, that's perfect.
The first one, I think I like the first one the best. Open house.
Yeah, it's probably the easiest. Yeah.
Plus, you get a new set. You get like a tent or something. Or
oh wow! Can you imagine a tent set? Whoa.
Hope they got the good proper lighting in there. We'll see.
Here's what you do. You have it at Big Mike's.
No, they're
People
not having Brad's open house at Big Mike's Tavern.
Why not?
It's just, have we ever seen Brad there, ever?
Brad is the kind of kid that's probably already drinking, but he's going to start drinking real soon. It's going to be young. Live fast, Brad hard, you know?
Oh, boy. I guess the
good
good thing about being at that type of open house, they could play pool and darts and stuff.
Yeah, that is the good thing, Jordan. Not the booze.
It's more of a
pool and the
well,
darts.
I'm just saying, like, they have that going on and whatnot, but, you know, it's
People
kind of a party.
have open houses at VFW halls and stuff. What's the difference?
I think there's quite a big difference.
Oh, really? What is it then? All right, fine. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Right.
You want to talk so bad about this episode? Go ahead.
I do. All right, so I don't even know where we're at. Heidi has to move on. She's talking to Tim alone now. The group thinks that Tim is her husband, which is kind of funny for a minute. Yeah. They do move in private. He tries to tell her how important she is. She sets up the show. She's the most popular one, which we saw at the expo where she had that super long line. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Okay, now I remember. So this is kind of a dumb line, but she's like, I don't know. I have to talk to Scott or whatever. And she decides... I don't even remember
the final scene.
Yeah, I don't even know how, like...
No, it's like, I gotta call Scott to talk.
And he's like, oh yeah, talk it over with Scott and make your decision. She's like, no, I gotta tell him he's gotta watch Amy. I gotta go back to work.
I'm coming back to work, baby. It's like, oh man, I thought you were gonna quit for good. Thanks for that.
Turns out she needs the money.
Turns out Scott got fired earlier that day.
Ooh, she was really sweating it at that mommy and me class.
Oh my gosh.
She makes the phone call, Tim gets to be the baby's partner, Amy. He wants to sing Mustang Sally, but nobody's really interested. So they do Itsy Bitsy Spider. Amy poops on Tim.
Yeah.
This makes me think about the time that we've heard where Tim really hates working with kids. So I just wonder what the scene was like for him.
He's like, it's funny that he hates working with kids so much because, I don't know, he's so good at working with kids.
I mean,
I feel like
he's very affable in the scene.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like he's always good with all the kids. I don't know.
Fake it till you make it, Tim.
You said it. I think I think maybe you undersold the jokes in the beginning about like they think Tim is the husband and like Tim deserves another chance, and they mention another woman that's Lisa, and they think he's been cheating. They really turn on him. That was pretty funny.
It was pretty funny. You're right.
Yeah, it's a good line. And that's it. What do we got next? We're home. Tim and Jill, they're talking. Kind of recapping the whole episode.
Turns out they didn't have enough content.
Kind of just an overview of what we just saw the last 20 minutes. Randy and Lauren come in to study, and they're a couple lovebirds now because they've smooched. I hate it when you do that, pervert. They're going to study upstairs.
Downstairs. That's where
sure.
Randy's room is.
Upstairs, downstairs, downtown, uptown, what's the difference? Tim and Jill talk about how they used to study and, what would sort of happen and how things would get a little raunchy, which I'm sure you were pretty excited about. And, they kind of get to a point where they admit that study kind of means something else. And at that point, Jill looks to the camera kind of and says, Randy, and she kind of freaks out, and they're going to head upstairs and stop him from their quote-unquote studying. And that's a season wrap on season 6. And also roll credits fade to black on The Kiss and The Kiss Off. Wow.
Castle's
Jordan.
Corner, highs and lows.
Highs and lows.
You want me to go first?
I don't. Sure. Yeah, do it.
Age before beauty, is that what they say?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
This is a pretty good episode compared. I'm gonna say relative to season 6. I'm gonna say this is pretty good. Randy, he's making strides with Lauren. I find their little plot line in this, from the gazebo to Sorrentino's, just to be interesting and just
Now, when you
kind of
call
funny.
it Sorrentino's,
I don't really know what it is.
Okay.
The
All right,
Italian
just wondering.
place.
All right, just wondering. Didn't
The
know if you knew
Italian
something I didn't.
bed.
Detroit Italian restaurant.
Detroit Italian Restaurant. It's a great website. Go there, DetroitItalianRestaurant.com. I like that little plot thread in this episode. I think Randy's, it's funny to see Randy kind of like flail a little bit because he's so smooth in, most of his.
He's a cool customer, generally speaking. He's the most clever guy in the room, smart, sharp, witty. But you get him around the ladies, and he crumbles. He crumbles like a shortbread.
Dude, I love shortbread. All right. The other part of this episode, the whole Heidi, Lisa, two girls, one cup type thing going on.
Yeah.
It's not particularly good. I do, the final scene where you get a little bit more of that, like, joking between the group and Tim and whatever. That, I guess, is pretty funny. But as we talked about earlier, Heidi's reaction to this whole thing is kind of crazy and overboard. Yeah. Of course, Tim didn't quite get it, and so I guess that's how they make it work in this episode. But yeah, that part is not really interesting. So it's I'm gonna say I like 50% of this episode. I don't like the other 50% of this episode. So I don't know where that comes in overall, but I did like Wilson.
It sounds like you think it's okay.
Well, and that's what I was trying to. So we're gonna talk about the season summation. Yeah. I was trying to think about the episodes. And when I think about the episodes in the season and then this one...
don't tip your hat too much.
I'm not going to. Okay. It's not going to make my top 3. But
whoa, hey, whoa! Man, I told you, don't tip your hat too much.
But I think it's an above average episode for season 6. So
okay.
Let me hear your thoughts. Let me tell you your thoughts. I'll tell you exactly how you feel.
Pardon the interruption. I enjoy this episode. Yeah, the Randy Lawrence stuff I think is really good. You only get like 3 scenes with it, but like the gazebo is a good introduction. The Italian restaurant scene is really good. Like the Wilson appearance in the restaurant, really, really good. Like the Wilson appearances can grow tired, and sometimes it feels so like shoehorned in. And of course, this was shoehorned in, but I really didn't expect him to pop up, and I thought that was just really good.
After 151 episodes, if we're surprised when Wilson pops up, that's pretty good.
Yeah. For sure, yeah, and the kiss and stuff. Obviously, that's nice, and I really did. I like the final scene as well. The last scene before the credits roll, where they're talking about the studying, and Jill kind of like looks at the camera and yells, "Randy!" I just kind of think that's a cool way to end the season. I don't know. It's kind of I think it's like a freeze frame. It's like active.
It is interesting thinking about. It just kind of shows you what kind of life phase they're in.
Yeah, it's not overly sentimental, and it's like, I don't know, it's like funny. Like, our kids are growing up. These are the kind of challenges we now face as we roll into season 7. I thought that was kind of clever, actually. The other part of the episode, I think it's a good idea for an episode, like especially giving Heidi something to do, like besides having a baby. In a car or like at a gas station.
Mostly it's Tim doing, some stuff.
Most of the labor. No pun intended. I thought it's a good idea for an episode, but like maybe they ran out of time or something. She's just too upset too fast. She's immediately, put off by Lisa, just her existence, I would say.
Would it have been... It probably would have been better if, like... They have them both as helpers or something, and then like Lisa's just getting all of the work.
That would make more
something
sense.
That actually is a threat to her job.
Right, they're both there, and like they just like Lisa is just like they're like, Lisa, can you assist instead of Heidi? Like that would have made more sense. But Heidi's just like kind of immediately bothered by Lisa, and then her quitting is just like kind of dumb TV stuff. But I guess it adds stakes, quote unquote. So. On one hand, I think that is I like the idea. I just don't know that the execution is there. But even with all that said, I like this episode. There are some good lines. I found myself laughing quite a bit, and like you said, a pretty good season 6 episode.
There you go. Mm-hmm. All right, let's go to social media. If you want to reach out to us, the social media aspect of the show. If If you want to reach out to us, go to thehumanpodcast.com, Twitter and Facebook at Human Podcast. You can also go to patreon.com/humanpodcast and support us for as little as $1 a month. Get bonus episodes. We have stickers. We have the opportunity for you guys to pick what bonus episodes we do. All sorts of stuff on there. And we just did Cheers, so you can get that. We just released that a couple days ago. And if you'd like to support us in another way, you can go to your Apple Podcasts or whatever app you use to listen to the show. Leave us a review. That helps other people find us. Adam.
Yeah.
Tweet.
Okay, sure. Whatever, man. So Twitter, a couple polls here. I'm going to start with the crappier one. 14 total votes. Do you enjoy 3D in movies and television? 21% yes, 79% no. So nobody likes 3D, and yet it's making money. So put your money where your mouth is, consumers.
You tell them, Adam.
Second poll. Which Home Improvement cast member was most deserving of a spin-off show? That was a pretty good question. One I'm surprised I hadn't asked before. 22 total votes. 9% said Wilson. 9% said Heidi. 23% Brad. 59% Al. What do you think of that?
An Al show? Yikes.
You think no good? Of those four, though, what's the best? What are the best options?
All right, I remember three. You said Al, Wilson, Brad,
Heidi.
I think it's murderer's row.
It's probably Al.
Yeah, I just don't know what they do.
I mean, Brad. I think Brad could also work.
I think if you do pick someone younger, you have a lot more going on because it's like Brad.
Kids,
once he does
wife.
He's got college to go through.
Brad, the college years.
Yeah, Brad, the college years. Maybe settling down with a family, maybe not.
Where do you think Brad goes to college in Michigan?
Some small soccer school.
Is that, in fact, what happens?
I don't remember, but it seems right. Let's say he goes to Albion or something and plays on the soccer team.
Yeah, that's true. Go that route. Yeah.
So I'd probably think Brad. Sense. I mean, if you pick... there's not a lot that we find out about Heidi, so I guess that leaves the treasure trove open.
I'm not sure. I'm just not sure I'm not sure she can carry a...
She hasn't got the chutzpah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't think so. Wilson... I don't know. He's so weird that how do you pull together a whole story centered around him?
Wilson does not work as the lead of a show. You would get it would grow tedious very, very quickly.
Yeah, and
I think
so. Yeah, I would say Brad, Al, Heidi, Wilson. That's my order.
I think I would tend to agree. All right, other Twitter news. Scrolling here. Not a lot new. Yeah, that's basically it. Kind of we're recording pretty recent in relation to the last one, pretty recently. So not a lot new going on, but yeah, follow us on Twitter. Good polls, good fun. Chilling. Don't know what else to say.
And as Adam flails, I suppose we can move out of the Twitter portion. So with that, we are wrapping up season 6. So it's time for season in summation.
All right, roll that jingle you're going to make.
I'm not going to make one.
Yeah, no, that cool jingle you've been talking about. Just put it in.
I'm just going to put the Home Improvement After Dark music.
I think that's not a bad idea. Yeah, you said you were going to do a bunch, you were going to take a bunch of, Nickelback music and, make it into a jingle.
Nickelback is,
I'm through with season 6 and I'm ready to talk. I ain't about them gods who love to beat up assholes.
I'm just going to play that instead. How about that?
Sign a couple autographs, I can eat my meals for free. How you going to do it? All right. How you want to start, Jordan? Let's just talk about season 6 in the abstract.
Abstracts. Let's get abstract.
What did you think? It was, the idea is that seemingly every season of Home Improvement gets a little bit worse.
Sure.
The ratings are worse. The collective consciousness, people seem to just regard it as being crappier every season. Is that in fact true?
I would say there was a notable decline this season versus last season.
Shots fired. Go on.
When I go through and try to make a top 3, bottom 3, let's just say there's a lot more contenders for bottom 3 than there are top 3.
Tend to agree. Top 3 episodes was a little bit... there was one really obvious one, and then the rest was okay. Well,
correct.
I I would tend to agree as well. I don't know. I guess
I feel like this season centered. I don't know. I guess it seemed like you got a lot of tertiary characters that are kind of doing stuff because they've kind of run out of a lot of central plot lines around the Taylor family, and so
familial conflict can only take you so far, maybe.
Right? And I don't know that the people are very interesting that are centered around this family too much. Like,
so when you talk about tertiary characters, you're talking about like Alan Wilson and stuff, or who do you mean?
Okay, so specifically, we just had Heidi in this episode.
Yeah.
So I just don't think what they have going on with Heidi in this episode is particularly interesting.
Okay.
I think it's better when they center around the kids and what's going on in their lives, honestly, at this point in the show's progression. So, and they really don't do it as much as you would think. So maybe that's something we're going to see even more in the next couple seasons. We're going to get Mark's goth phase and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I mean that's my general feeling. I don't know. I guess when we talk about specific episodes, we can get into that stuff. So
yeah, I would say. I can't disagree with any of that. I think, in making the list, there was a lot of episodes that I thought, well, that was bad, and the good ones were a little bit more challenging. Is it a different show than it was in the beginning? Yeah, I think definitely. Like, things are more like in the beginning, you could have a plot that was just like Tim soups up the dishwasher, and like Jill's mad. Like, that's an episode. Now everything's a little bit more complex. I think maybe a little bit overly convoluted sometimes. Like, you have like a couple of conflicts, and maybe one of them is sort of interesting. The other two are just sort of like whatever. But yeah, one thing I'll say is I guess we're getting more like guest stars as the seasons go on, which is sort of interesting. But yeah, the overall quality is probably diminishing. We're also getting some, kind of weird stuff like 3D and claymation and stuff, which is generally like gimmicks are the sign of a declining show. Right. But so when you see season next about 3 months from now when we do a 3D episode, you'll know we are a declining show.
We don't even do a 2D episode, so
that's true. We should start there. No, actually, let's just jump right to 4D, 4DX. All right, Jordan, let's get into the nuts and bolts of season 6.
Let's do it.
You choose where we begin.
Let's start with the bottom 3. How about that?
Okay. All right. Let's go back and forth. You start.
All right.
We're gonna have similar ones. So
I think so.
I would suspect. Yeah.
First one that came to mind immediately. I didn't even have to look up like what happened in this season to figure out what episodes. I knew 6 months ago when this episode happened it was gonna make my bottom 3, and that's Future Shock. When
ding ding ding, first one I wrote down. We kind of said in that episode like
this is the worst. It was the worst episode we'd ever seen.
Yeah, right, for sure.
So in this episode, they're talking about like Tim's routine. They're like going into the future basically, and you've got Tim and Jill wearing old costumes that make them look much older, and Jill's life has been ruined because Tim cannot, break his routine. It's a really bad plot. It's a really boring plot, and there's just like nothing funny about this episode. It was bad all around, I think. The
overacting is what does it for me. Like you got like they're in these. It's just like community theater, like and no disrespect to the actors on the show. Like I guess playing old subtly is maybe difficult, but like it's just like so bad. Like it's just like for like it's like Grandpa from The Simpsons for like 30 minutes straight. Yeah. It's just like not funny. The jokes are super lame, and you get tired of it really quickly.
Do you like my grandpa character or Tim's grandpa character better?
Man, you are making me. That's a tough decision. Yours, I guess, because you do it. You do it. You do it. The performances are few and far between.
Good. I'm not even going to pull one out now. So
good choice. Future Shock, really bad. Mostly, I mean, that's just like never going to be good. Like aging your characters and making them act old. Like
centering around that conflict that they center it around too is just.
Like Tim's routine. Yeah.
Good gracious.
All right.
So universally panned Future Shock.
Yeah. Next one, maybe you'll have this one, maybe you won't. It's an episode called Totally Tool Time.
Yep, it's on my list.
Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, this one sucks. This is where like there's the Swedish guys that want to they want to broadcast Tool Time over in Sweden for reasons that are unclear.
Still
and it's
remain
just,
unclear.
It's never been clear, and it's just a lot of like it's basically all Tool Time. It's just a lot of like really bad, unfunny segments kind of spliced together with these weird Swede guys kind of like watching from the corner. Everything goes wrong, but none of it is funny. You got Drew Carey playing like the roadkill guy. And
I think that's what makes me mad about that episode.
That they wasted Drew Carey. Like,
Yes.
It's cool to have Drew Carey, but, like, I don't know, it just, like, sucks. And it could have been cool. Like, there's a lot of, like, backstage stuff, which is interesting. And, you know, like, we're in, like, the offices and stuff. But the jokes are brutal. The gags are bad. Like, it's just, like, a crappier version of things we've already seen. Like, I think that... I can't remember what they do in that one, if it's, like, the man's gym or something.
Yeah. I think,
end
too...
with
Sorry, go ahead.
No,
finish
go
your-
ahead. No.
I was going to say, the thing that we really didn't like, too, is they, like, pretend the whole episode that the Swedish guys, like, hate what's happening on Tool Time. And then at the end, we find out they loved everything about it the whole time, but just the whole time they were watching, they had their arms crossed and were frowning.
It's the classic, like, they're like, oh, how do you make it so funny? We didn't know Tool Time was a slapstick comedy. Like, I don't know. And it's okay to go to that well every once in a while, but, like, yeah, Home Improvement plays that card quite a bit. And, yeah, the Swedes were played, well, it lacked a certain dignity, I would say, the performance of the Swedes. So, totally Tool Time. Yeah, totally not my favorite episode.
Wow.
Sorry,
All
my
right.
microphone fell as I said that.
It was
just
so
like-
bad that your mic doesn't want to record
It's just
anymore.
like limp went over. Yeah.
Oh, man, oh, man. All right. Last one here. How to choose. I'm sure you typically do honorable mentions.
I do. I have one honorable mention for each.
All right. Well, I'm going to choose... I'm kind of between a couple here. I'm going to choose the wood, the bad, and the hungry.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that is my number 3. Yeah. So,
All right. So this is stop motion. This is Randy at the soup kitchen. This is Benny.
yeah.
Do I need to continue to go
This is
on?
Benny being a real bastard.
So Tim feels bad for Benny when he doesn't necessarily want to invite him to Thanksgiving because he thinks he's like, you know, poor and has to go to the soup kitchen. But then we find out that Benny's kind of like just an awful guy and is just eating free meals at the soup kitchen when he doesn't really need it. Mm-hmm. That's rough. That's rough that that's your central conflict. The stop motion, they tried something different, but it was really weird and just not... It
doesn't make any sense. It kind of like looks good. I guess I'll give it that. But like, you know, if we thought the 3D was bad a couple episodes ago, like this stop motion stuff, it's a dream, and the jokes in that are weird. Like that, it's sort of like a David Lynch kind of thing. It's like it's just so bizarre as you're watching it. You know, like extremities are falling off and stuff. The jokes are kind of weird. But yeah. Fundamentally, you know, that is bad, but the Benny as just like going to a soup kitchen. Yeah, going to a soup kitchen just because he likes the taste of the food is like brutal. I didn't like Benny before, but that was a really, really bad look.
Yeah. Nail in the coffin for Benny.
Yeah, and then honorable mention, I have insult to injury.
Yeah, I have that too.
Okay, so well, we're on the same page. Yeah, that's the episode where like we covered it pretty recently.
Yeah. Tim injures his shoulder, right?
Tim injures his shoulder, and like there's a Tool Time or like a cable show record. He's gonna break Bob Vila's record. He promises to take Mark the Blue Angels. Supposedly he makes a bad choice. He goes. You got the kid that's performing surgery at the end. You got Wilson in the dream sequence, just like maniacally laughing.
That was
weird.
wild.
Weird Tim voiceover. It's just like structurally a really odd episode.
I did like the James Bond type spy music when Tim was trying to escape.
It was all bad. They couldn't decide what they wanted to do, so they did everything. But yeah, the ending of that episode with that little kid performing surgery.
Scary Gary, I think is his name.
Scary Gary and his dad. I mean, wow, that guy was also scary. Tim has a lawsuit. So yeah, that was it. I don't know if you have any bad ones. Any other bad ones you want to talk about?
That was it. No,
that's funny. Exact same 4.
That was terrible.
Yep.
All right. I mean, I think we both didn't like At Sea as well. That was like the start.
Yeah, that was so long ago. I could really like that. I think that was the first episode of the season, so it was kind of a struggle. Yeah, hey, there was a lot of bad ones this season.
The list went on and on for bad ones.
Unfortunately.
Let's go to the top 3 then.
Yeah, let's not dwell on it.
All right. So I think I'm going to save the very best one for last because I think we both have it. My other two, it was tough, but I'm going to pick The Karate Kid Returns.
Wow. Okay, I did not have this one, so this is the first. This is the first one that we're on our own. So explain it.
I don't know that it's justified, but I just really like the idea that Mark uses karate to stop a bully from beating up Randy, like this high school kid.
That's a season 6 plot, if ever there was one.
It's so good. And then Randy goes into full meltdown mode because of Lauren. He thinks Lauren's making fun of him. Everything's in the newspaper.
By the way, she totally is. Everybody's making fun of you if that happens.
Randy beats up a kid, punches a boy who wrote the story. There's just a lot of teenage violence in this episode.
And that was relatable for you.
I didn't have a lot of teenage violence in my life, so this was
it's like entertainment for you.
Yeah, this is something I just didn't expect coming. No, I mean it's probably not that great of an episode, but I really just like the idea that Mark beat up this kid.
Shocking pick for top 3. Gotta say, really surprised. All right, good.
Go ahead.
I'll start with My Son the Driver.
Yep, that's on my list.
Okay, yeah, I just really like that one. You got Brad getting his license and all the excitement that goes along with that. The episode kind of pulled a little bit of a surprise at the end, where you find out that Brad he didn't actually hit a telephone pole, which was established as being the conflict. He was in fact rear-ended, and he's trying to lie about it, and he's kind of busted. But you get some good stuff there. Brad comes clean at the end, and I like the stuff in the apartment with the friends. I forget Patty and her.
I love Doug in that episode.
Doug, yeah, he's pretty funny, and in general, Jill waiting for the phone call is pretty funny. Patty keeps getting phone calls, and it's not Brad. Brad's late, and I felt like that was just a relatable kind of true to life family conflict that could happen, and I enjoyed that one.
Yeah, no, that's obviously my top 3 as well. I like that one. The only 2 things that I remember that were weird is for some reason Doug forgets Brad's name.
Can't remember Brad's name. Yeah, at the very end of the scene, it's really undercuts kind of all of the good humor in it. It's I don't remember what if he calls him Ben or something.
Who knows?
But yeah, that was kind of dumb.
I think your favorite part of this episode that you didn't mention was about all the answers.
Oh, I forgot about the answers. Yeah, that was not that good. But no episode's perfect except for one of these. One of these episodes is perfect.
One of these episodes is perfect. All right, so let's leave that one for last. Okay. I've already done 2 of my 3. What's your other one?
Okay, I have an honorable mention that I'll just say right now. It's the one we just covered. Kiss On, Kiss Off.
That almost, that was that was right on the edge for me. So I guess I would call it honorable.
And if you know why, and if you want to know why, you already heard. If that was not top 3, but it's in that 4 to 6 range. I like that one. So not gonna say why.
Randy and Lauren, just an interesting
power couple. Kanye Kim. It's kind of the same thing.
It's pretty good.
No, I'll go with my other one, and that's Working Man Blues.
Working Man Blues. Remind me what that one was about.
Brad gets a job at a sporting goods store at the mall.
Very good.
And he's
he doesn't want to worry about school anymore.
He doesn't want to worry about school anymore. He's kind of infatuated with his boss, who's kind of a slick guy. You got the goth girl.
Yeah, she's the MVP of that episode.
She's pretty good. Tim's coming in, and Brad's kind of blowing Tim off, and I don't know. I guess I really like the seminal Brad coming of age episodes this season, but I don't know. I thought it was fun.
I told you the best parts of this season are centered around what the kids are doing, right?
For sure, yeah. And hopefully they double down on that moving forward. Yeah. But yeah, I know I like that one. I also really like that boss a lot. So wink, wink might be coming up later, but no, it was a fun episode. Yeah.
All right. And the moment we've all been waiting for.
It'd be funny if we didn't have the same thing.
Best episode of the season is I Was a Teenage Tailor.
Obviously. Yeah. Of course. We knew that when we watched it.
So we got the Halloween episode. There's pranks aplenty. Brad and Randy, they got the head in the microwave. They've got Tim and Jill with the actor who is Clifford Warren. That was his character's name, right? His name is Larry Hankin.
Larry Hankin.
Yeah. So Larry Hankin, just amazing in this episode. Mysterious visitor. I can't remember exactly what. Is he just saying that he used to know someone who lived at the house or something? Or
that part is not actually even clear when you're watching the episode. It's he either used to live there or he knew someone that lived there and something horrible happened in the basement.
He murdered someone who lived there. That's I think what we know. And yeah, it's just heightening the pranks. People end up in the attic. It's
the attic scene is solid. Good
spooky.
Stuff.
It's spooky.
Yeah.
So easily the best episode of the season.
Halloween episodes are always really good on Home Improvement. In this one, I think it hinges on the Larry Hankin performance, and I like a good prank war, and this one does it well. And that final scene is genuinely pretty creepy. So it's good stuff, man.
That is good stuff. All right, top 3, bottom 3. You want to talk about guest stars?
Yes, yeah. Did you do bottom 3 guest stars or no?
No.
Okay, I wrote down a couple crappy ones.
That's just mean.
Well, I did it. Okay, I'll just run through these. I'm not going to explain them. Guest stars I didn't like. The unser with all the DUIs. Stop driving. I didn't like the mortician in Taps. That guy creeped me out. And the Swedish guys, like I said, they lacked a certain dignity. So those are 3 that I did not like.
All right, let's talk about 3 that we did like.
Okay, we'll probably have some crossover here. I'll start. Larry Hankin, Halloween guy.
Clifford Warren.
Clifford Warren. It's good stuff. I mean, we just said that guy is good. I love that guy in Billy Madison. I love him in Seinfeld, Home Alone 2. He's going to be in the new Breaking Bad movie that comes out in a couple weeks, so he'd be working still. He's just great. He's a really good presence, and that's a good episode. And he's so good at it. They didn't even make him. They let him use his real name, Larry.
Yeah, was Larry his fake name or Clifford?
No, Clifford Warren was his fake name. His real name was Larry. So
yeah, he didn't need to change his character's name. Yeah, he's good. I mean, I don't have anything else to say. We just talked about the episode.
Is he on your list?
Oh yeah, he's my number 1 guest star of the season. Second guest star, I'm gonna go with half of that power couple. I'm going with Lauren.
She was good. She was an honorable mention for me. She's really good.
Every time that she's in an episode, I think is good. I think she brings a different type of presence than Angela to me.
Yeah, entirely less. I don't know. It's not saying Angela's annoying isn't really fair because that's just what she's supposed to do. But a more chill performance.
They just, I think Randy and Lauren are a great match. I think she's likable. I think I like her character. I like the way that she treats Randy. Like how she's pretty forward with him and. I don't know. I think I like her. She's good.
Randy needs a woman to take charge. No, I agree. I had her down here. She's not in my 3, but I do like her. I feel like she is she has good command of the character. She seems confident in her scenes.
Yes.
So yeah. All right, my next one. I mentioned the episode earlier. Working Man Blues. Brad's boss, Rob Ferguson, played by Mitch Rouse. I don't know, guys, he's good. He's kind of slick. You think you got him pegged as kind of this broy. You think he's trying to send Brad down a path that is similar to his own, but in fact, he's a bootstrap guy, Mamba mentality, just like us. And I dropped my mic again. Good Lord, I'm too excited talking about Rob Ferguson. I like that episode. I just like that guy. He brings a unique kind of energy to Home Improvement. I enjoyed it.
All right, you want to talk about unique energy?
Yeah, the mortician. Your third one?
No, my third one is Janine Garofalo.
I thought about her. Yeah, she's good. Okay.
She, wow. She just, that episode, I don't even remember what it was called, but it was the one where Tim...
Funny Valentine.
Funny Valentine. Tim meets up with some woman who claims to be, Tim's high school girlfriend or something. I don't know. But it's actually his mom, blah, blah, blah. There's all that kind of crap going on with Tim's dad. But Janine Garofalo is just hanging out at the band at this hotel, just being goofy and really into, whoever's playing bass, who's, a weirdo. And she's just kind of funny, affable. She really kind of takes over the scenes that she's in and brings a kind of just silliness to the episode that I really love. So, very memorable performance and makes my top 3.
I said someone else from that episode. I said Anne Francis, who plays.
You didn't like her singing, though.
No, but I honestly think it's just because I really like the Twilight Zone episode she's in, and I was just kind of, I don't know,
turned
happy
off
to have
by
a Twilight Zone alum in there. Did you say turned on?
No, I said turned off by her.
Oh, I think you said turned on by that. No, I
super turned on by anybody from Twilight Zone.
Yeah, even Rod Serling kind of gets me going. No, I just I don't know. I thought she brought a certain grace, and she still looks great at a mature age, and I give her credit for that. And she's just regal. And yeah, I like the Twilight Zone, and I think that kind of I don't have a lot to say, so I think that this is mostly because I like the Twilight Zone.
I'm pretty sure Jackie
further inspection
made this list a few seasons ago as well. So
anytime a Twilight Zone person is going to be in Home Improvement, they're going to make this list. FYI. So
there you go.
All right.
MVP
that
time.
leads us to season MVP, right?
Oh man, this is interesting. I honestly have no idea who you're gonna pick.
Okay.
All right. You want me to go first?
Who wants to go first? Yeah, go ahead.
All right. I'm gonna pick Patricia Richardson, Jill.
Whoa.
In this season.
Okay.
It's a big season for Jill, so you know I'm just gonna list some of the things that happened for her.
Mm-hmm.
She's dealing with the boys going through their teenage years. That's huge for any mom. Emotional episode, losing her father. So that's just a big, she goes through a lot of emotions in this season, and this is just, the height of that. She conquers a computer, if you recall. Just, very empowering. She gets A's on all of her schoolwork. She gets a sweet new car. She gets to drive around. She flirts to get out of a ticket with that police officer. Yeah. She fulfills a lifelong dream of singing with the Beach Boys. And that's just a small list of all the stuff that she goes through. And you know what? Through all of it, great acting. So
great acting. Okay.
Patricia Richardson, good on you.
All right. My MVP is Brad. Big season for Brad, man. Think about all these things.
Big season.
Big Brad season. Big Brad energy. All right. Things Brad had happen this season. Gets his driver's license, drives on Woodward. Power play.
Wow.
Driving in downtown Detroit, chilling. He learned to respect women. That was big.
Amen.
At first he wasn't. Now he does. He maybe had sex, but at the very least was like making out in his bedroom. Nice. What else we got? He gets a job. I don't know if he holds on to it, but he has one for a while. That's pretty big learning. He's funny. He's into babes. He's always talking about babes. And, I just thought finally they have a handle on this character, and I'm looking forward to the next couple of years. I don't feel like a lot of characters are necessarily getting better as time goes on. Yeah. I feel like Brad is, so I gotta give him props for that.
Yeah, I think that's a good pick. And, he's holding down a relationship with Angela for a long time now.
Yeah, if I'm him, I'm getting out of that, but that's a whole other thing.
Well, it might not be long.
I mean, he's got his eyes on Heidi, right? I'm leaving Scott for Brad. Can you imagine?
I think he's got his eyes on any available woman at this point. So
that's
available or unavailable, it seems like.
That's true. Well, that's season 6 in summation.
Tell us what you guys liked.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, who'd you like?
Favorite
who'd you
episode?
Dislike? Come down and answer for those DUIs. That guy's got to go to rehab or something. This is getting out of control.
Yeah, out of control.
I'm gonna put a.
It'd be funny if there was a social media outlash now, like 20 years after this.
No, he got DUI like 2 years ago, so it's still pretty fresh.
All right, fresh.
He can't stop. Yeah, season 6 on the whole, we talked about it. Not the best season, but there were still some gems in the bunch, and we got 2 seasons left, so a little under a year, and looking forward to taking you guys on this journey with us, right, Jordan?
That's true. If we talk about, I like when we talk about MVPs, guest stars, and top 3, because it really makes me like the season more than I did.
It does end on kind of a high note because you're forced to sort of focus on the positive. Yeah, I mean, if you were to do LVP, it's not as good of an ending, but LVP has got to be Alan. It's got to be the answer with the DUIs. I mean, come on, fella, figure it out.
I'm gonna put Eileen in the LVP spot. I don't know.
She's gone. She's never coming back. That was it.
Bye. Come on, Eileen.
That kind of sucked. That should have. I don't know. That was kind of lame.
That episode really came and went for how big it should be.
Yeah, that was lame. Why'd they? I don't even. We're done with season 6. I can't dwell on the past anymore.
We're done.
I'm done.
So let's talk about season 7, episode 1, our next episode.
Jordan, funny. That is the episode that we talked about years ago. That's the Traverse City episode that I was staying at the same hotel as the cast during. So I think we may take that interview and throw it at the end of that episode again, just for context and stuff. We might do that. But yeah, it's a quest for fire, isn't it?
Quest for fire. So we finally made it. This was actually our driving force to get to this episode. So
that's true. On location, Traverse City. I was there. I appear in the episode as a grill. No, I'm just kidding. They dressed me up as a grill. Jordan, it's been a pleasure talking season 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and a lot of season 1 as well. Thank you for joining me through 151 episodes. We did it. And I guess I should say take care.
We're going to continue to do it. And take care, everybody.